Mfundishi13 CrystalSun. I'm in the building today. I'm gonna touch on a topic because you know me. I'm always bigging up my brother Kwaku, KWAKU, of the fakes. You know, the ones that you watch and they lead you on and they bring you into that world like they really for us, but they really working for themselves or the opposition. I mean, that's a topic that should be bright. You know, you gonna run into those like that. You know, Black Power. You know, this is wrong, this is right, and then when they come around, you know, they got a spouse that's European, Chinese, Asian. That's just like the norm now. And as I always said, and I always thought, how can we liberate with the people that's destroying us, the people that they are parasitical? You know, how can we move forward and you trust the people in the race that's leeching from you to benefit only for them? So trust me, you're gonna run into a lot of people, whether it's at work, the public place, bus station. It's just the level of fakeness. We have to understand, no matter how much you act to be them or want to be them, they are not for us. We tend not to get it. We act like Monday someone does us wrong, and Tuesday it's a healing. No, what's done is done. It's set in stone. Trust me. And then you have to look out for those that's constantly on these platforms, you know, million followers, million likes, you know, they got fancy cars. Those are the ones you have to look out for. So, just like my brother said, imposters, like that's who they are, like, and they do this con game, which is more deadly because they are us. So they know more body language, they know more slang, they know the language, so they get into this con game and profit more because they know how the black race is. Now, sometimes the other races pay them. Sometimes they do it from themselves. They come up with a master plan, say, you know what, I'm going to make a web page. I'm going to make a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm going to talk about black people issues. They'll profit. They'll talk about schools, daycares, and, you know, so on and so on. So I know lately they had the brother, Dr. Umar Johnson. He's been added to the list as a con man, sellout, whatever. But I don't get caught up into it because I never gave him money. I never thought that it was wise to send someone money. Like, I never thought that was wise. You have a whole list: Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan, and I was always curious of him because he teaches Islam, and Islam is a religion that was forced on us, which is factual. You know, the pictures is evident, and this was before Photoshop, so I know that he should know. You know, you got 19 keys. You know, he's teaching the God talk. He preaches that God is a he. So I always looked at 19 keys as kind of, you know, suspect, but I never had nothing towards these brothers. I'm just throwing it out there. So it's like, and then we ask ourselves, how come we can't move forward? Well, this is why. You teaching the same religion that was forced on our people. And then you read it, and then you bring it back to your people, saying you fixing the wrongs. No, wrong is wrong. A lie is a lie. So, you know, when the white man tell you, European tell you that the God is a he, which he altered our minds to to a false notion, and then you come out years later saying the same thing, then question is, how is you better than him? How is this our liberation guide when you using the same tools that the other people use to down us? So it gets kind of sketchy. Louis Farrakhan, 19 keys, like it gets kind of weird. And then, you got like a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to just bash them. I'm just saying, like, that's what I've been curious about. So far as you thinking everyone is for us or for you, that's a lie. A lot of people doing this for profit. Like, I know what I'm doing is dangerous because I know that they watching. That's like every day. So don't just watch people because they using big words. They drive fancy cars. Because when you here to liberate your people, you wouldn't look flashy. You will have on plain clothing, African clothing. You will have the locks. You wouldn't be too flashy. And then a lot of these speakers are using a phrase of, well, I wear the European Gucci and all these fancy clothes because I want to suck in those from the hood. Okay, advertising. So you have to wear $1,000 that you gave to the European Gucci and all this other name brand to get the attention of black folks from the hood. Okay, we need culture. We don't need Gucci, we need culture. So put on your culture and you would get the same people that you would have got with that $1,000 shirt made by Gucci. Like, their reasonings never make sense to me. You just want to talk negative about the Europeans, and then you want to slightly show them wealth by buying their clothes. So it could look like, well, I'm not totally racist. I got on a $1,000 Gucci shirt. When you serious, you will be cultural from head to toe. Why do I have to put on a name brand shirt that's not from my culture, putting $1 back into their race just to get some views from people from the hood? Nah, I'm not buying that. And that's like, nah, I'm not buying that. Imposter, like, I can't do that because it's not something that you have to do. We should be wearing our clothes, gravitating towards our people. Because you don't see them talking against us in none of our clothing. You don't see that. But we do that because we so smart till we dumb. We think when Gucci and Tommy Hilfiger is going to make a child from the hood or a teenager from the streets press play. As bad as we brainwashed into this self-esteem game of, oh, I gotta have on the nice shoes, the nice Jordans, and the nice hats just to feel good, you would go put on an outfit that don't represent us. Brother Smart does this. He puts on his outfits. I ain't got nothing against him. That's his game. That's what he was saying. He said, because I have to tag the people from the streets. But there's 101 ways to skin a cat. When you serious about this, you will be serious. You will have no parallel functions with the European, Chinese, or Asian. You will be 100%. Your spouse will be from their motherland, African descent, Haitian, like everything pertaining us. Your shirt, your clothes, the locks. Now, some things you just can't help from buying from them, like the car, because we don't manufacture no car. Like, we made the car, but the car companies are branded by white people. I can understand that, but how can you be a spokesman for the black race and then your wife is European, your wife is Chinese, your wife is Asian, or vice versa? Vice versa. Your husband is Chinese, Asiatic, or some old plain blue-eyed. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I call it just like I see it. People, they want to play both sides. They confused. It's a one-way street. How can you be a spokesman and you doing man-on-man activity or female-on-female activity? Like, how can you get on a podium? It doesn't make sense. So it's the validation. How can you be a grown man rapping about killing your race? Imposters. Rappers, entertainers are imposters. These celebrities will never give our black areas. For what? They rap about the number one topic to keep us depleted. Rappers, basketball players, baseball, anybody with sports. Now, back in the day, they was doing it. Jim Brown, Frazier, like back in the day they was doing it, but now, they proclaim that they give to the charity, but just like Dr. Umar Johnson said, they always give to the white kids. So keep your eyes open. I'm not here to down anyone, but those are the facts. Like Brother Kwaku said, imposters. They seem real because they're blended with the fakeness. Dr. Umar Johnson, Louis Farrakhan, 19 Keys, Brother Polite. You know what I'm saying? He done called a charge. So it's like you have to be real careful. You have to be real careful because a lot of things that they do be looking skeptical. So, you just gotta know thyself, and know when to pick and choose who to listen to. Because anyone could talk about our issues. Anyone could do that. Anyone could YouTube video, and anyone could do it. You know what I'm saying? I said it again, I ain't got nothing towards them. It just, that's kind of, I touched on the clothing with our brother Smart. I touched on the Islam with 19 Keys and Louis Farrakhan, Dr. Umar. He's supposed to be building in school. So, you gotta be well. So yeah, I'm just touching up on the video from my brother Kwaku. You know what I'm saying? Imposters. So beware, because it's real, and they are worse than the Europeans, worse than the Chinese, worse than the Asiatics. Because I can understand if someone doesn't like us, but for you to help the people that don't like us says a lot about your character. Mfundishi13 CrystalSun.